Hi, my name's Grant, along with Sean, Jordan, and Cedrick. Our group did recycling and the environment as our project. The topics for our project are recycling in Erie, the positive environmental impacts of recycling, the negative environmental impacts of recycling, and the future of recycling. For recycling in Erie, 80% of the residents recycle. The percentages of businesses that recycle is unknown. Recycling is required by state and local law, and if you are found not to be recycling, a fine of $25 up to $300 can be imposed. The Erie Times News recently did a spot check on 12 businesses to see if they recycle, and they found that 6 of the businesses did recycle, but 6 of them did not. The recycling is enforced by the city's sustainability coordinator. Other townships also have positions like this, but enforcement is difficult, especially when there are bigger issues that cities are facing now with violence, guns, and drugs. They just can't devote that amount of time towards enforcing people to recycle. Reasons why businesses don't recycle include space. It takes space to recycle. You need a lot of room for all the bins if you have to separate recycles. The cost that can be involved. Sometimes it's very expensive to have a recycling service set up. And also the time that employees could be spending on doing other business activities, they are spending instead of recycling. Reasons that businesses do recycle include it's the right thing to do, it helps the environment, it's not hard to do, and also sometimes it can save money. Some businesses pay per a load of garbage, and if you recycle, you can cut down your garbage by not throwing all the stuff that can be recycled into the garbage, and that can cut down on your garbage bills. Some of the local businesses that are big recyclers in Erie include Wegmans. At both of their stores, they recycle at least 65% of the store's waste. Also, Giant Eagle, in 2008, they recycled more than 43,000 tons of cardboard, 750 tons of plastic, 550 tons of paper, and over 1,200 tons of cooking oil, fats, and bones, and other things. Now to talk about the positives of recycling, Sean's going to come up.
Some of the positives of recycling here that we have are, first and foremost, it reduces the amount of waste sent to landfills and incinerators. A lot of the waste that they send to a lot of the landfills around, not just Erie, but around like the whole United States, are really like water bottles and other recyclable items. So one good effect of recycling would be to reduce that and also keep your whole area cleaner. Secondly, recycling conserves natural resources such as timber, water, and minerals. Recycling prevents pollution by reducing the need to collect new raw materials. Recycling also saves energy. Recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to local climate change. And a nice graph that I found. Municipal Solid Waste Characteristic Report by the Environmental Protection Agency. 52.6% of stuff that is thrown away is discarded. 34.3% of stuff that is either recycled or composted, and 12.9% of stuff is combusted for energy. Information supplied by the National Recycling Coalition. Every ton of paper that is recycled saves 17 trees. The energy we save when we recycle one glass bottle is enough to light a light bulb for 4 hours. And a national recycling rate of 30% reduces greenhouse gas emissions as much as removing nearly 25 million cars from the road. So obviously, from these past 2 slides, there's a lot of positive effects that come from recycling. So next time you think about throwing out a water bottle, try and recycle it. And to talk about the negative effects of recycling is Jordan.
There are many positive effects of recycling. There are also many negative effects of recycling. Recycling process itself produces a lot of pollutants, from recycling trucks to energy being used at recycling plants. For example, in 2009, 179,000 waste vehicles were on the road and created 3 dozen airborne toxins. Reports come out every year about rising recycling rates, neglecting to mention the soaring consumption that goes along with them. With consumption rates soaring sky high to many, it's as if recycling has no cost. There are also a big difference between things being recyclable and things actually being recycled. For example, PVC technically is recyclable, but the most recyclers don't handle it. It's too hard to break down the material. Another example of a plastic that is hard to break down is bioplastic. It is another example of a material that is considered recyclable but cannot be broken down, so some companies just do not take it. The last negative effect of recycling is oil refining process. The oil refining process breaks down materials. After the oil refining process, there are many negative effects that cause toxins to the air, which are sludge contaminating. They import dangerous chemicals into the air also. And next we have Cedrick with the future of recycling.
Right, so there are many current things that are being implemented to increase the recycling. However, there are a lot of new programs that are being used right now that potentially would be able to help us in the future with recycling more and in different ways. First one is the ban on uses of plastics. Many cities right now are actually starting to limit their uses on certain types of plastics, such as plastics in food packaging, plastic bags, and plastic bottles. Another one is using paper, going from paper to digital. In 2012, President Obama required the EPA to digitalize all their records to streamline all their uses and increase the efficiency in various processes. Biodegradable plastics. There's an increased market for these plastics because they can be used in car parts, different parts of clothing, and different electrical components. Another program that is being implemented more is mandatory composting. Cities around the U.S. are beginning to compost organic materials to prevent more wasted materials. The next one we have is sustainable innovation. A Swedish student recently created a robot that recycles concrete and rebar buildings. And if this were a robot that would be widely used, we could take down old buildings and recycle the parts that were used in it and make a new building and save that space and prevent more trash of concrete and other materials like that. Adding on to robots helping in our recycling process, 3D printing is a huge innovation that's coming up and in private and commercial use. In the future, they're seeing that 3D printed houses could be made, and not only are they 3D printing houses, they're using recycled plastics such as Legos and other recyclable waste to create these things. Organic waste, creating energy, along with composting, biodegradables and foods can be turned into bioenergy and become another source of energy for us, while at the same time ridding us of a lot of potential trash. Recycled cigarettes. There's also programs that are beginning to recycle cigarettes because cigarettes are 38% of litter found on roads, and eliminating that would be huge for us in recycling. The recycled cigarettes can be made into plastic materials such as shipping pellets. The last point we have is increased corporate responsibility. Corporations are being pushed to take more responsibility in their waste management and their influence on the public, and if we were able to help them influence the public better, they could get the word out to promote recycling and our environment. So, thank you for watching.